Hi, the topic for discussion is retromolar trigone. So, retromolar trigone is a mucosal space. From the name itself, it suggests that it's a retromolar space. Look at this. This is upper third molar. This is lower third molar. This is the part of the maxilla that is maxillary tuberosity, and this is the part of the mandible that is mandibular ramus and its adjacent parts. These two parts are connected by a tough fibrous band that is called as pterygomandibular raphe. Now, retromolar trigone is a mucosal space. It's a mucosal lining covering the posterior part of the upper third molar, covering the anterior part of the maxillary tuberosity, going along anterior to pterygomandibular raphe, covering the anterior part of the mandibular ramus, and then covering the posterior part of the lower third molar. This whole space, is called as retromolar trigone. It is not just the superior or the inferior part. This whole space is called as retromolar trigone, and there comes the important clinical significance that what if there is a lesion in the lower part of retromolar trigone space, it can spread to the upper part of the retromolar trigone space with the help of this pterygomandibular raphe. Having said that, looking into the axial sections, here is the retromolar trigonal space. This is our third molar, which is related anterior to it. Posterior to it, there's an important structure which comes, this blue color structure, as you can see, it is tonsil. And these two are the anterior and the posterior tonsillar pillar. To discuss about the relations of the retromolar trigone space, let's assume that there's a tumor in the retromolar trigone space. Knowing how this tumor behaves as it grows helps us know the relations of this space. If the tumor grows anterolaterally, it's going to involve this buccinator muscle and this adjacent buccal mucosa. If it grows posterolaterally, it's going to involve this buccal fat and this whole contents of masticator space. If it grows posteriorly, it's going to involve this tonsillar fossa, anterior tonsillar pillar, or the posterior tonsillar pillar. If it grows medially, it's going to involve the tongue. Knowing how this tumor behaves helps us to know the relations of this space. Along the craniocaudal axis, as I told you, if there is a lesion here, it can spread along this pterygomandibular raphe and involve these parts of the maxilla. It can further come down and involve the parts of the mandibular ramus. One important nerve goes along this mandibular groove, that is inferior alveolar nerve, and that can also get involved as this tumor spread inferiorly. Inferior alveolar nerve becomes very important in a surgical perspective if this nerve gets involved by the tumor infiltration. The other clinical significance of this space is it's a hidden space. It's a hidden space, so it is difficult to detect tumor in this region. By the time we detect it, it ends up being either in T3 or T4. Second important clinical significance is this: if there's a lesion at this space, is presents with the classic sign that is trismus because of the involvement of pterygomandibular raphe, which is difficult in opening the mouth. Thank you.